Peace, family. What up, though? Yeah, we going live today. It's time to give y'all a rundown on how we got here, how we got to this level of consciousness, this, this frequency, this vibration. What made me want to start expressing myself to fucking feel better, to want to be a factor to somebody else, you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily be like a quote unquote messiah or anything, but just be that individual, be that soul to just spark a thought, to just spark something that will make somebody else want to do better and be more accountable, if you will. This nigga Kendrick, Kung Fu Kenny. So yeah, let's go and get this show on the road though. I've been wanting to make this video for a minute. Kind of just been in my head. Uh, what did I want the backdrop to be? Worrying about who could hear me. Fucking, how was I feeling at the time when I made the video? Um, honestly, worry about the right thing, but honestly, worry about the wrong thing at this point. Cause like, nigga, just do this shit. You feel me? Like, do this shit and you'll feel better. You'll learn more, you'll grow, you'll open new avenues, you'll discover more, just anything, right? So, right. So first things first, right? I'm the oldest son. Was born in Michigan, Christian family. Grandparents were super heavy in the church, right? Deaconess, treasurers. So going to church heavy on the daily. So my whole life been Christian. Whole life um, got saved, as my, accepted God, Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. When I tell you I was going to church like 3 days a week. So reading the Bible on a regular, probably more than a lot of people. I like to read, I like to learn. So Um, yeah, when I'm into something, I like to do my due diligence and get into shit. So, whoop de whoop, fast forward. So, I'm like, yo, God, is the Father, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. But I'm like, yo, this nigga is my dad or whatever, this the founder, this the creator. So, if he's God, then, if he's my dad, then technically I should be a God too, right? Just because it has a different name shouldn't invalidate what it is. For instance, a dog, when it has an offspring, is called a puppy. A puppy and a dog is two different names, but it's the same thing. I'll give you one better. A tree bears fruit, right? A tree bears fruit, its offspring, you can say, is an apple. An apple's far from the tree. So is that apple not a tree? It's the same genetics. Give even one better. The caterpillar goes into a cocoon, the cocoon, and then emerges a butterfly. So is the butterfly and the caterpillar not the same thing? So that shit always kind of stuck with me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how I can't say I'm a god when my dad is a god. So this is when, around the same time, Kanye was, start talking his Jesus talk. So I'm like, So I guess that's where he's coming from. So never forget, I'm working at Read on Link. It was called AN Connect at the time. I'm working there, and this is about like 2015, somewhere around there. And we're just having like these super duper deep conversations, that were really making me challenge like what I thought was like regular. I'm like, I never thought about that, because like I've never been like a closed-minded person. Like whatever feels right, like I like to do the research. Like, this is interesting. Let me do some research. Doesn't mean that I believe it just because it feels right. It just means, it has my attention. You feel me? Like you should take note of that. So we're talking about ley lines, and this is when the flat Earth theory first got brought to my attention. I was like, what the fuck you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, nah, nigga, we rotating, we XYZ, you know, niggas have been to the moon, you know, we gonna be inhabiting the moon. We got the whole Earth mapped out from top to bottom, the ocean, XYZ. The fuck you talking about? So I'm like, and then the first thing that was brought to my attention was like, the way that planes fly, and then in some planes they have like this gyromagnetism ball that will give you an idea of when the plane is tilting along the Earth's curvature. Because according to science, it's like zero point 0.6 inches of curvature, like per mile or some shit like that. Um, but it's like depending on, it all depends on whose science that you're going off of. You feel me? So I was like, all this is very interesting, you know, very interesting. It's just like, there's just so many, there were so many inconsistencies in Christianity. And then I'll never forget, I saw this Kirk Franklin interview. He was on the Breakfast Club. And you know, Kirk Franklin, you know, a big, huge music gospel artist. Make you wanna stop, stop. You know what I mean? Like, niggas getting down. And he was like, when he said that he wasn't religious anymore, I was like, huh? How the fuck is this superstar Christian gospel artist renouncing his Christianity, renouncing his religion? And he gave a great example of how you could be drowning in a lake or an ocean, and somebody that's Christian will be like, hey, you know, XYZ, they'll shun you for being there opposed to helping you get out. And, you know, he just kind of kept giving references on how it was not really healthy and it wasn't really helping to move people forward. And I was like, So then you know, so I was like, that's interesting. And so I was just like, man, every time I just try to take this seriously, you know, I just keep getting like knocked off of Christianity. I'm just like, this shit ain't make no sense. And then I was just like, fuck this shit. So, you know, so I'm living, you know, I'm kind of just not religious anymore. And then, you know, all these pastors kept coming out, Bishop Eddie Long, and he was the first one. And then, you know, these niggas for money, Creflo Dollar, so, and now TD Jakes, and, you know, the word pastor just kept losing its validity. And for one instance that really hit home for me when I moved back to Michigan, one of the pastors was fairly young, and the older people in the church really did not like this guy because he was a younger individual, because he was a young pastor. And I'm just like, damn, this nigga really speaking the message, like, had me motivated, had me want to do better, um, you know, to like want to fucking, you know, change my life type shit. And y'all niggas ran this nigga off. That shit wrong in there. And speaking, shout out to when I was like this pastor or gospel artist Deidre Cannon. I believe he's from Detroit. Um, Shout out to the D. What up, though? Um, his album Crossroad, man, it really did a number on me. Really, we would listen to that shit like crazy. The whole fam, yo. Stir the gift, like really kept me down, really kept me focused during some dark times. Like every time I really got to that point of, you know, no return, you know, I had, you know, some suicidal thoughts and all that. And every time I got to that point, to that level of darkness, I always went to the light. And at the time, I was thinking that light was Christianity, was God, you know. So I'm just like, man, you know, I'm just staying here to just want to do better. And I was like, man, I just, you know, I had some very esoteric dreams. This one dream I had in like 2017. 2017 is around the time I had like a first like level of consciousness shift, like raise my vibration. I had a dream of the world ending, and I woke up crying from this dream, laying right next to my girl. Yo, she like, babe, you okay? And I was just like, and I just I just, I just held her and I just started crying. Yo, tears was falling down. So the dream was, you know, in the Bible it says that you know when Earth makes his, you know, when God makes his return, there'll be like trumpets blaring. You know, it'll be great horn. You know, the four angels, four pillars. So I'm on the moon and like this noise is so loud, and all I see is like this statue, and the statue is emitting this light, and every time this light is shooting towards the earth, like shit is disappearing. Like I don't know if you ever watched a Justice League or like Apocalypse or Dark Side, how they got like those crazy iron beams that are unavoidable. That's how this light was. You cannot fucking avoid this shit. So 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 you're just unavoidable. So well, so just speed up the dream just a little bit. So when it finally got time to me, the Earth was gone. Now the light was focusing on everything that was on the moon, and I was running as fast as I could. And I was like, "Damn, it ain't not running this shit." So I just turned around and I just faced the light. And when I faced the light, I woke up and I was in the yard, and I was like, you know, confused, experiencing this equilibrium. And then all of a sudden, it's a black man appearing next to me on the bench. And I was like, "Who is you?" He was like, "I'm God." And I was like, "Why are you appearing as a black man?" And he was like, "This is the only way you'll be able to understand me." At the time, I did not understand that shit. But now that I'm here, he was telling me that you God, that was higher self coming down to me like, "Hey nigga, the black man is God. You need to wake up." Mind you, this is 2017, 7 years ago. And now like, "No, nigga, I don't believe you." So he just started giving me examples of, you know, I started asking him questions like, "Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why did this happen?" Like, nigga, if you guys supposed to know, right? Whole time, of course he gonna know. If it's me, it's my Akashic records type shit. So I'm like, "Yes, why did this happen?" Bam, he got an answer. Boom, why did this happen? Bam, he got an answer. I'm just like, wow, this shit is. I'm like, okay, so I believe you. Then he told me, he was like, "Yeah, all this is." He was like, "Yeah, you going through all this shit because you can handle it." And he was like, "You always gonna come out on top." And I started crying. And then that's when I woke up. I just started crying. I was scared as fuck, crying. And you know, I just cried in my girl's arm, man. I'm like, damn. So fast forward, 2021, when I had my spiritual awakening. I made a few videos about that already, but now y'all getting the whole timeline. So never forget this night. It was a night out with my girl. So every time I have a raise in frequency, it's always after I experienced a heartache, like some form of trauma or emotional shit, eruption, shit, something that's triggered your boy to the point to where, all right, all right, all right, this shit ain't mapping. And for me, like I don't get worse, I get better. So yeah, so this is another case with my girl. Going out. I have family in town. Not on the town. You know what I mean? Drinking. Drinks is flowing. Thank you that we made it home safely. Drinks is flowing. And that night turned out to be one of the worst emotional nights of my life. Nigga cried for like 7 hours. Excuse me. Peace, baby. And like I could not stop the crying. It was like I was crying out all of the shit I was holding in. And after that, that was when I vowed to stop drinking. And after that, it was like my emotions were turned on. I know that might sound wild as fuck, but coming from a man like a junior, a son, the oldest son, like nigga ain't shit sweet. Nigga coming from the 616 Gundaroo, you know, like Midwest baby, like I mean, nigga, you seen and not heard type shit. Like it ain't nah. So that shit was real. And then just who my family is, who I was raised around. Like you gotta be built for it tough. Can't be no bitch. You gotta fight. So when I say a nigga emotions got turned on, I found myself crying during movies, crying during shows, just crying during shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And when I made the vow to stop drinking, I was living with my homeboy. He literally took all the liquor I had. Huh, huh. Like, huh, you can have it, man. Like, went cold turkey just like that. And in the midst of that, um, stop drinking, freaking emotions got turned on. Just my perspective and my view of life started to differ, started to shift, started to change. The things I enjoyed before, I did no longer like to do. Places I didn't like to go with either. So I'm like, this shit is crazy. And since I stopped drinking, about 7 months later, I stopped eating meat. And I'm like, damn. So I was this big swole ass nigga. You feel me? Like I'm like a buck 70 now. Back then I was 220. You feel me? The Hulk Samson. Nigga was calling me Samson around this bitch. No bap, no gap. Asking me to be their personal trainer. Like niggas who I work with was asking me to be their personal trainer. Everything. It was like I would play basketball. Niggas would be following me trying to fight because they said I was playing too rough. It's like, bro, like it ain't my fault you play. Like I got a big heart, a big soul, big spirit, big cap, big Taurus, big Libra. You feel me? Like shit's strong over here. So I'm already playing to win, and then I'm big. Nigga, I ain't sparing you. The fuck. Um, and so it was just like that body. It's like my that avatar at the time. It was coinciding with my belief. So we gonna I got y'all. So we gonna back it up reverse. So 2021, about 7 months later, I stopped eating meat. Taste buds got crazy. I got some content on the channel too for all the first time viewers, or if y'all just never even want to look at the videos. If you came here via the shorts or just some other video off, however the algorithm be algorithm. Um, got some timestamps and it was just a miraculous journey. And even now today I don't even consider myself spiritual. I'm not really into the labels thing anymore. This tapestry right here, give y'all a look at this. It's my tree of life tapestry. Kind of embodies what I represent: duality, polarity, nature, earth, what I mean, death and renewal, never ending, uh, recyclable, spiral. You feel me? Yin and yang, light and darkness. It's one of my favorite tapestries. I got another one actually. Yeah, sneak peek. Oh, whoa, 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 hold the bow. Um, so yeah, so just fast forward, and so in the midst of me stopping drinking and stopping eating meat, and in the midst of experiencing, breakups and losing friends, and just so many forms of renewal and recycle, all this pain, I went to nature. I went to like when I tell you when I had that when I cried for those 7 hours before that, I went to the deepest, darkest depths of my soul, and the only way I could get out of it, I had to come. I had like I went so deep that I realized that I was talking to myself. I was. I had to find my own will to live. I had to find my own light. I had to, like, for all my anime fans, I had to find Kurama. Like, I had to go Super Saiyan. Like, and then in the mist, like, y'all see my fucking hair? Like, this shit got crazy long. I'm telling you, it's like all the weight. transmuted from my body to my external nervous system, to my ether, right? And it was like once I tapped into karma, that same year when I stopped eating meat, well, when I made the vow anyway, took it out of my diet. It's not a habit anymore. I took my first mushroom trip. I took about 4 grams of penis envy mushrooms, some of the best mushrooms you can get. And I went outside. Well, first, I had my ego death, right? I recorded this too. I had my ego death. That's what I call it. So I had got off work, stomach was empty, took the shrooms, ate it with some breakfast, hash browns, pancakes, orange juice, and I'm chilling. Then I'm like, okay, stomach start feeling a little queasy. I'm like, oh shit, I think we're starting to feel something. And before you know it, I start feeling good. I'm like, damn, this ain't like a high. This ain't like nigga tipsy or I'm drunk. This shit is like different. And so I'm feeling really good. I got the music blasting, and before you know it, I'm triggered. I had a thought that just like when you're on the mushrooms, it's the true essence of yourself. When people say, "Oh, it's a bad trip," I had a bad trip. You are the trip. So whatever experience, whatever emotions that you are keeping dormant, that you've been suppressing, not wanting to deal with. Like say you got some secret feelings you've been holding in, with somebody close to you, and if something that you're watching or listening to that reaches your subconscious, that's gonna trigger that. It's gonna have a snowball effect, and you will have to deal with it. So that's why a lot of people aren't ready for mushrooms. So when I tell people that that's what the mushroom trip is, really having that experience with yourself, you're like, oh shit, no, I ain't ready for that because people be lying and not being accountable. Um, Anywho, so I had that trip and I started crying in that mushroom trip too. I was crying and I had to say everything that I was holding in. I had to say it in its rawest, truest, raunchiest form. Like, nigga, you gotta let this shit out. Who you really wanna fucking be? Like, stop all this trying to be cute shit. Like, say what you really mean and mean what you say. And after having those conversations, I was like, yo. And after that, after I stopped crying, the walls, like I could see the different frequencies. It was summertime too. I could see the different frequencies. So I went outside, started off, grounded, socks off in the ground for about 2 hours. And as I was grounding, like I felt my consciousness leave my body, go into the earth, to the middle of the earth. And as my consciousness was going deep lower into the ground, going through these different frequencies and levels of information and knowledge and animals and crust. Mine just my consciousness, so it's not a physical form. I'm acquiring knowledge and information. And when I finally reached to the center of Earth or to the furthest depths I could go, it came back up. And when I came back into being, this might have been about 2 hours later, it's like I was like, wow, I felt incredible. And the first thing I said was, it's the earth. I just went to the earth. And this all happened in 2021. So you can kind of see how shit kind of happens sporadically. From liquor to meat to mushroom trip. Now, granted, I'm like, these are two things I said I would never give up. Chicken, nigga? What? Chicken, nigga? Chicken, nigga? Chicken, nigga? Chicken, nigga? What? Nigga, what? What you talking about, nigga? The Henny? Nigga, fried chicken, them lemon pepper wings, stop playing. Y'all niggas playing on my top now. Nigga, I love when nigga, I used to bust down a 20-piece large fry by myself. On me, nigga, what? But it was just like, I gotta prove to myself that I can do these things. So, 2021 was a very, very um, emotional, conscious, um, just a exponential rate of vibrational growth, man. Honestly, like that shit, the way that shit was happening, that shit was crazy. And so over the years, I just started listening to different teachers like um, Jamal Rashad and Bobby Hammett and Bro Sanchez and even one of my boys, AJ Clark. Like my soul resonates to some of the purest things, and just being in nature and just tapping in and just being cleaner and leaner and reading and believing, and because your belief is where your reality lies. The faith the size of a mustard seed. So just imagine if that shit wasn't a mustard seed. Just imagine if all that belief you put back into yourself. Whoo wee! Let's say you just did that for a few days, few months, few years, maybe. But yeah, but we just getting back to how we got here. So you just fast forward 2021, just stay tapping in, just learning growth. Really got tapped into yoga because once you realize that your body keeps the score with the kundalini, the different energy centers, the alignment, the behavioral patterns, when you realize that everything is linked together via the mind, via disease, via how you feel, via how you express yourself, it all matters. It all resonates. Um, so just seeing me doing things and shit aligning and shit shifting and that shit is shifting and aligning, like it's coinciding or it's being concurrent with my beliefs with progression. And as long as I've been following my intuition, my life has continued to get better for me and my body is healthier. During COVID, lived in the house with everybody who caught COVID, never caught COVID 9 times, played basketball, niggas get caught COVID. Like, what? Like, that shit was a frequency disease. Like, you had to be 6 feet away. Your heart literally emits your aura 6 feet away from your body. It's type like, oh damn, it's not even. So it was like, yeah, wasn't even in. Yeah, that shit wasn't affecting me. I got crystals and orgone pyramids, EMF frequency protection, all type of shit. So it wasn't bothering me. But yeah. So in the midst of that, I really start off. Kind of see it's crazy how it comes full circle. Like in the midst of me learning the knowledge of how history was whitewashed and how the inconsistency and how technology is taking us away from nature and all these many different things. Um, that damn yeah, I kind of got sidetracked a little bit, but just kind of trying to wrap it up. I've been going on here for 30 minutes, but I've been needing to get this shit out. Okay, needed to like tell the story so you can kind of see like it was this has been like this has been evolution. Like I even got pain tattooed like that pain that people go through, pain defines character. It's also an ode to Naruto, my favorite anime of all time. Pain, Shinrai Tensei. You know what I mean? RP to the GOAT Jiraiya. You feel me? Um, yeah, it's just when you start to think outside of the box. For all those who've seen The Matrix is a documentary of how you have to escape your programming. Escaping your programming to start to learn what is, a, they call it occult knowledge to scare you with the spookism, but it's really just the truth. Um, and then so once you start to question the things that you hold dear and you're able to go against what you thought you loved to step into who you are meant to become, that's when you start to realize that shit ain't what you thought it was. And you just get happier as a result of that. And so that's how I got here, as a conscious, spiritual God. You feel me? I'm not saying I'm the God, but I am a God, you feel me? Um, I create my reality as we all do. We think what we want and we obtain it. Simple as that. You know, very simple but very deep as above, so below in the macro is the micro. But yeah, it's a beautiful day there. I know that's random. I hope y'all been taking care of yourself. You know what I mean? I hope that story helps everybody, you know, who's new here, who's been following me. Just wanted to get to know me a little better. That's pretty much the story. You know, never stop tapping in, never stop loving yourself. In the midst of you challenging yourself and, you know, questioning, you know, what you thought was, just having an open ear and an open mind and an open heart will lead you to different avenues in a way that is inexplainable. But peace, power, love, namaste, ashe, and peace, love, and light. Y'all, man. We out.